And last week, just to recap, I said I was going to put in a trade going um, going long at 23,400, and I did good at that mark, but um, I put in a stop loss if it went back down to 23,400, and during the time it was going good, I got in at a good 20% return. Was debating whether or not to sell and to close out, but I didn't. I wanted to see how far it went, and it just went back down to 23,400. So this week, so I basically broke even, and it's been going like that both on long and short calls this week. It seems like 20% has been the maximum threshold I've been able to make throughout this period. This is a very interesting time where Bitcoin's daily time frame has both reversed on a lower inside Bollinger Band reversal here at this point, and also here inside the Bollinger Band. It seems like there's almost a loss of momentum on the daily. On the 6 hour and 3 hour, you can see it even more. You can see there's a loss of momentum. The price keeps going up. This is consistent with the 3 hour as well. You can see the price all-time high here with this particular past 2 weeks, losing momentum, losing momentum, losing momentum. Price is going higher and higher and higher, which is consistent with once it hits, like I said before, in all my past techniques, I've been talking about how whenever I see that the slow moving RSI loses momentum inside the purple area, which is a given trend after 3 points of momentum loss, there's a given that it's gonna lose momentum within here. So it would have been a good call. I still wanted to see the daily hit past the outside Bollinger Band before making a call. I put in a short sell at 24.57 on KuCoin, so for 50% of my capital, and I was waiting for that to happen, but it didn't quite turn out to we expected. So the call is still the order is still out. It's not yet executed. So I'm waiting for this kind of whole thing to reset. When this resets, this should be outside, as well as this probably the 6 hour. I'm not sure if the 6 hour is gonna reset, but it should. So next week I'm looking for a reset, and if not, if it does decide to keep going down past this line here, this particular price on this particular day, well then, so be it. But it's once it does hit, that's a strong buy. Once it does hit past this point, that is a strong buy that I'm going to execute for myself. So it's a hard call this week to see whether or not what's going to happen. Bitcoin's weekly has been, and daily on the Fibonacci has been just so confusing. I think a lot of people were surprised at this point what happened here on this 40% upswing. This was great, considering that little up, that resistance point there was great to look at, because it happened again here back earlier last year. So I am going to wait this out. I want the 3 hour to reset. I'm not going to make any short calls, because I don't see during a sell-off period, if I haven't gone in here, which I should have, this would have been a great point, then I'm waiting for this seems to be like a strong trend line here, I'm not going to make that call until I see that there's a third upswing before it wants to hit this reset area, which is the oversold area on the 3-hour. For me, the 3-hour looks a lot more consistent than the 6-hour. The 6-hour looks okay too, but I'm still waiting. It hits this outside Bollinger Band. It's considered a minor reset when it does. So I'm not, it might shoot back up. It seems like as if like I was saying before, the US 100 is just, sorry, the S&P 500 is mocking Bitcoin's price action, and the charts are consistent with my values here as far as losing momentum on the slow moving RSI. Neither is it on the 6-hour, but on the daily, it just wants to hit around the area of the overbought area before it reverses, and it hasn't done it yet. And if we go to the Bitcoin action, it hasn't broke over the Bollinger Band. So there's a bit of a I want to say that there's a bit of a expectation that it still wants to come back up again before it goes down, before it resets. Like it's not over yet, unless it resets first on the 6 and 3-hour time frame, and then decides to just skyrocket again. It's a hard call, man, because really I want the price to go past this area where it went past the previous outside Bollinger Band. And I can only think of another time it did that. I want to say it was like the beginning of Bitcoin's age. Let me find it. It was here it is. On the 15th of December 2018, it happened. It hit that value, and it never decided. It didn't want to come past this line, past the outside of the Bollinger Band, which is a case in itself. So I was a bit bummed out by that area, but the majority of the time it has bounced under, and picked back up again. So it's a rare event. It only happened a few times. Once before. It hasn't happened again until now. So for me, I made a short call when it hit outside this upper Bollinger Band, and I was expecting to. I didn't close out. I wanted to close out when it hit past this area here, and so when it bounced back up again, I lost my call there, and I basically had to break even again. So I did lose a bit of money, but not much. So it's just kind of frustrating when you have a rare event like this happen again, like it did 4 years ago. So here it's happening again. I haven't seen anything happen where it falls below the Bollinger Band and then continues to fall in a bull market. Sorry, in a bear market. So this is more consistent than a downswing where it goes past the price of an on the lower Bollinger Band. So that's my call. I think I'm gonna stay content with the fact that it stayed, it went below the previous Bollinger Band, I'm going to stay content with it because it seems like, look, there is some support here in this history, and there's a huge momentum to go up. You can see this on the weekly. It's a huge momentum to go up. You know, the price action is actually losing momentum. It is losing momentum. It's still inside. Is it inside 31.5? It is inside the purple area. So it could be the last price before, starting the bull market. I'm not buying in yet to go long because the slow moving RSI on the weekly is way overbought. It's at 100. It needs to come back down to the oversold area, and that's when I'm going to buy long to switch over my order. I'm not going to buy long until it goes over into the oversold area. That's the technique I'm going with. Whether or not that's consistent with what's going to happen with the US 500 weekly, the US 500 weekly is also overbought, and it seems like it is losing momentum if it decides to come down now. It did pop, just popped below my alert point, where I was going to buy Bitcoin to go short. But, it's not perfect. I'm not perfect. I was like nothing. I think it closed at 4192.95. My alert was 4194. I was $2 off pretty much from my alert. That's great. But anyways, I think this is great on the final ending of a bull here, where you have a losing momentum way inside the 30 support line here on the slow moving RSI as a new lower low. It hits the Dow Jones support line and just boom, just skyrockets. So I think we're pretty much over with it. But when entering a bull market, I want to enter it when the bull market is oversold, meaning all the fear has gone off the previous bear trend. That's for me is the safest. I know this is the biggest area of return, but I was willing to bet against what the trend was going with. So for me, it's not important. What important is the bigger picture, that all the fear has gone off after a losing momentum pattern. When the fear has gone off and the slow moving stock, this fast moving RSI has gone on the oversold, boom, I'm taking my cake and running with it and eating it too. So that's it, y'all. That's the weekly analysis. Don't forget, I'm taking all this money that I'm making and from recycling cans and all over the world and just picking up trash, turning it into cash, investing in Bitcoin, turning that money into, it's about $150. I'm turning it into, I want to make over a 6-figure income to purchase a property and teach people about permaculture. That's my vision. That's my dream, to teach people about how to create their own property for their own future generation, how to sustain that property for their own future generation and for the next. So that's what it's all about. It's about, it's about gardening. It's about self-reliance. It's about preserving the land in ways that nature will take over and become a permanent home for the agriculture that it supports, that you have put in. So essentially, it's a self-sustaining closed-loop system. When you decide to leave that property, that system will support itself, essentially. And that's what I love about it. It's working with nature. I'm a chef by trade, and I love working with nature on those things in ways that help our future generation. So, all that being said, have a good week. Next week, I'll put in a trade when it decides to go down. I won't, despite it being, very, very appealing to put in a short order now. I'm not, because I don't see anything happening with as far as an ongoing positive trend. Sorry, an ongoing negative trend here. So I'll keep it at that. This is way outside the Bollinger Band on the 3-hour. This is a terrible price to put in a short order. I'll probably put it in around 23,200. Anyways, but only do that when the daily goes past the upper Bollinger Band. Anyways, that's the summary. Have a good week, y'all. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see y'all next week.